102. Hey guys, it's Craig at Patriot Training Center, and as you guys saw in the intro, I was able to get 3 hits with my dominant hand at 3 yards in just over 1 second. Let me teach you guys how I'm able to do that, and the one little trick that I learned from our head instructor, Jeff Boren, that allowed me to be able to do stuff like this. So, a very common thing we see here at Patriot Training Center during our classes is when we start shooting one-handed, people tend to let the guns kind of just move wherever they want. They'll usually go low and left when you're right-handed and low and right when you're left-handed. And I always struggled with this because I could never see my sights to shoot as quick as I wanted to when I was using only one hand. And something our head instructor, Jeff Boren, had actually introduced me to was thumb pressure with your dominant hand thumb. So I have a clear gun here. So here at Patriot Training Center, we teach a thumbs up grip. And there's many reasons for that. One being for when we shoot one-handed, and that I'm gonna show you why here in a second. And just because it keeps your hands off of the controls of the gun. So when I'm shooting one-handed, because there's all this empty space here, that's why we have our support hand here. So in order to make up for the lack of a support hand here, this thumb is very good in if you press pressure into the gun in keeping this gun downrange, one and foremost, and two, allowing the gun to return right back to where it was in the beginning. So as you guys saw in the intro, I was able to make very effective and very quick hits at 3 yards. Again, the biggest thing with this is that thumb is pressing into the gun firmly and keeping it in place to try to make up for the lack of a support hand here. And you can do that even with your support hand side. So I'll show you guys support hand side first, and then I'll show you how that still equates to accuracy back here at these different distances. So I'm gonna go ahead and get loaded up right now. I'm going to safely and carefully transfer the gun into my non-dominant hand, and I'm gonna show you guys the exact same thing that I just did there with my dominant hand, with my support hand, and show you why this thumb is super important to getting super quick and super accurate hits shooting one-handed. So I'm gonna use a timer to do this, and I'm gonna show you guys that I don't really slow down that much. So, from the ready, safely reholster. I had to shoot a little bit slower because it is my non-dominant hand, but that is still a 1.27. I did let one get away from me just slightly because I did not give myself enough of that thumb pressure. And what that ended up equating to was a slightly high hit. This is a 7 ring. We usually shoot for an 8 ring, but since I'm an instructor, I should be able to do this in a 7 ring, which I can. I just allow my fundamentals to falter there just a little bit. But as you can see, I still have 2 really good hits here and 1 high thoracic. So that thumb is what's allowing me to be able to shoot at that speed and still make good hits. I'll show you how that equates at a little bit of distance with my one hand and how that thumb's allowing me to see my sights quicker and allowing me to press off a shot with the lacking support of my support hand. So I moved back to 5 yards here. I'm gonna show you how I can still get very good hits and prevent that down low left and that down low right with my non-dominant and dominant hand. So here at 5 yards, we're gonna get 3 good hits. Should be under 1.5 seconds. So that was almost exactly 1.5 seconds. It's just 1/100th of a second over. So looking at the target here, I saw not only my dot that whole time, but I also got 1, 2, and 3 perfectly good hits here in the thoracic cavity. And that's with my dominant hand and all that little bit of support from my thumb there, allowing me to bring my sights back down, press the trigger straight to the rear, and recover my sights much quicker rather than just letting that thumb just sit there. So now we're gonna go back to 5 yards, and this time I'm gonna do it with my non-dominant hand to show you that that support thumb really does a lot more than you think it does. So we're at 5 yards here, non-dominant hand. Let me show you just how well this really works. So we're down here at the target with my non-dominant hand at 5 yards. I did let one get away from me. It's still within the 7 ring, but that was a trigger press issue, not a matter of my support thumb. So otherwise, I have 2 good hits here and then just that one over. I hope I've explained how much that thumb really matters when you have that lacking of a support hand on the gun. I hope I have shown you that you can still make good hits and fast, accurate hits at even 5 yards with one hand on the gun with using just a little bit of pressure with that thumb. So we have a 30-day dry fire program down below in the description. I hope I've explained it well enough to you that that thumb really matters in your support hand shooting and that you will go try and dry fire and how little those sights really move. So go check out that dry fire program and we'll catch you guys in the next one.